Good evening, everyone. This is Storm here bringing another gaming news roundup. I'm not going to waste too long with the introductions because this is the second recording for this episode because the original clip got deleted, unfortunately. So, without further ado, let's get on with it. Our first bit of news that we got for the week it is from Yuri Lowenthal. If you don't know who that is, he is the voice Peter Parker Spider-Man for Insomniac Games, who is currently working on Marvel Spider-Man 2 that is due to come out fall of 2023. He has said Insomniac Games is confident about Spider-Man 2 release date and the game will be astonishing, says Yuri Lowenthal. When he says, I think this is the first time we heard something from Yuri Lowenthal himself when it comes to Marvel Spider-Man 2. Like we had Tony Todd, he played as Candyman back in the day, and he is the voice for Venom for Marvel Spider-Man 2. He started teasing stuff about the project, and we got I can't remember the voice actor for Miles, but yeah, this is the first time we actually hear something for Yuri Lowenthal, which makes me believe we'll probably get something shown to us pretty soon. For me personally, I'm happy that the actors are talking about the game, but I'm at the point like I'm not an impatient person by any means, but like unless you just show us something, just keep just keep working on it, because the more you talk about it, the more less patient I will be. But it is what it is. On to our next one. Our next bit of news that we got is Persona 6 and Persona 3 remake might be announced this summer by Atlus. Persona 6, I see that's more likely than a Persona 3 remake because a couple of days ago, Atlus released the port for Persona 4 Golden and Persona 3. So I don't see the point in them doing a remake. If that was the case, they should just launch Persona 4 and just waited to launch the Persona 3 remake. If they're doing a remake, I would have to, because Persona 3 that was on the PSP, so was Persona 4. So if they were doing a remake, it's basically gonna look like they're gonna use the engine that they use for Persona 5. I'm assuming, but still, if you would go, if they are doing a remake, they should just wait to launch that instead of just doing a port. But that's just me. Next one that is The Last of Us Part 1 sales have jumped 38% after the HBO show launch, and this is from the UK chart, which is very good. We've seen this happen before. For examples, we got that anime show for Cyberpunk. The sales for that game jumped up, and we also have the Witcher TV show, which made the game sales jumped up also. So there's no surprise that people who probably never played The Last of Us before saw the TV show and went to go play the game. And of course, there's also some people who only play like The Last of Us on the PS3 or on the PS4 and went to get the PS5 version. So kudos to the show. The last numbers I heard of it was, I believe, episode 1 now hit 18 million views, and episode 2 that came out this past Sunday, it was at 5.7 million views. So yeah, like this, I'm hoping HBO Max keep the ball rolling. How The Last of Us, for The Last of Us TV show, if they show us all season 1 episodes without no like flop and give what the viewers what they want. I more than likely we're gonna hear a greenlit for season 2, which rumor is going to cover the Last of Us Part 2 game, which I heard that um they could be right now casting for Abby, but we just have to wait and see. In my opinion, I think that'll be a little bit too early since season 1 didn't finish yet, but it's better to plan ahead than wait at the last minute. Alright. The next bit of news that we have is Blue Point Games is working hard on their next game and will reveal it when the time is right. If you don't know who Blue Point Games are, they're a studio that was, I believe it was 2 years ago, was purchased by Sony, and their pedigree was remaking games, and they do a fantastic job of it. Some of the work they did a remake for Shadow of the Colossus, and just in 2020 for the PS5 launch, they did a remake for Demon Souls, for Demon Souls. So the fact that they're doing their, a while back they did say they are working on a original IP, so more than likely the game that they're working on is not a remake. So I can't wait to see how that turn out. And if it's a game that I will get into, that it will be a day one buy. Alright. This next bit of news comes from Respawn. A new Star Wars game from Respawn may include multiplayer. A job description for the game says experience working on a multiplayer game. And when I hear this news, I have two things. I'm hoping for a multiplayer lightsaber duel Star Wars game. And because when it comes to multiplayer Star Wars game, we got Star Wars Battlefront and Star Wars Squadron. But like, it'd be cool to play a game that you and your friends just running around with lightsabers, with lightsaber duels, and also like going over the galaxy. Or they could possibly do a game focused on you being like a bounty hunter, like a Mandalorian. If you don't know, a while back there was a canceled Mandalorian game. I think it was I don't want to say it was Star Wars 1313. I think that was a totally different game. But there was like a small little pre-built gameplay of a Mandalorian bounty hunter game, which, not gonna lie, it did look pretty cool. Too bad it got canceled. Alright, on to our next news that we have. More bad news from Ubisoft. Skull and Bones, which is their marine pirate game that Ubisoft was working on. Fortunately, last week I said it got delayed again, but now we got news that Skull and Bones pre-orders are getting refunded and the game is no longer on sale in the PlayStation Store. So if you will go to the PlayStation Store and try to look for Skull and Bones, you will see is no longer available to be pre-ordered. And the developers did put out a message saying that they delayed it and doing some pre-working for the game after the some testers talked about the game, gave their feedback on it, so they went back to the drawing board to try to do it better for their game. But yeah, this is not a good look for Ubisoft because they're going through a whole bunch of troubles when it comes to their game launchers and stuff. So I don't know Like they have like a couple of projects that got canceled. Some are in um some games are in development hell. Like for example, Beyond Good and Evil 2. We haven't seen nothing about that game. No update, no nothing. So hopefully Ubisoft will be able to recover from this, but uh, time will tell what will be their future. All right. Our next news is from Cygames. This past week, there was a Grand Blue Fest for Cygames where they talk about their Grand Blue Fantasy Games project. The two projects, they revealed new trailers for Grand Blue Fantasy Relink and a new Grand Blue Fantasy versus Rise, which both games look cool, and I will post some screenshots right here. By the looks of the images, you can see that people at the fan managed to take pictures of the demo and how the controls and the characters and stuff. I believe this is our first time we got to see uh, the game looks on the PS5, because before this game was originally only coming out for the PS4 and PC, but now last year it was announced that it was also coming to the PS5. So yeah, I I'll be getting this game for the PS5. It was said that it will have a global launch of 2023, so it will be released worldwide. And details for the Grand Blue Fantasy versus Rising. Both Grand Blue Fantasy Relink and Rise will come out for the PS5, PS4, and PC, and they both will launch in 2023. And some details for Versus is this 2D fighting game based on the hit mobile RPG from Cygame was an ambitious title that set out to expand the boundaries of the genre. So kudos to that. Some details from the director himself. He have said, let me find his quote. He said, the producer Tetsuya Fukuhara says he sees the end of the development in sight and currently fine tuning the, basically, in other words, polishing and optimizing the game. He does feel bad that they couldn't give the full release date for the game, so we just had to wait a little bit longer. What he's implying, I'm all okay about waiting for a proper release of a game, but alright, this game was supposed to, well, Grand Blue Fantasy Relink is the one I'm mostly looking forward to, and that was supposed to launch winter last year, but it got delayed. So I guess me hoping to get a proper release date from this event was unfortunately disappointing. So hopefully the final we'll hopefully get a proper release date for this game, because the waiting has been excruciating. Right. On to our week, and right now I'm gonna be post both trailers for Grand Blue Fantasy Rise and Relink right here.
らせてしまったな。早速見せてもらえるだろうか。新しい技とやらを。
はい、全力でいきます。
気をつけてください。グラならいけるぜ。
Here on my command, rivers and destruction, again and again. Rivers and destruction, here on my command, rivers and destruction, again and again. I'll shatter this sky with the last chain breaks in the ashes and the ruins. Will I fight to recreate and this evolution? Beyond evolution, rebirth and destruction, another horizon, rebirth and destruction, here on my command, rebirth and destruction, again and again, rebirth and destruction, here on my command, rebirth and destruction, again and again.
Grand Blue Fantasy Versus Rising.
What do you think is out there? At the end of the Sky Realm, I mean. A wall, maybe? Hey, can I ask you something? Getting closer to our goal and everything. I was thinking, wouldn't it be wonderful if our adventures never ended?
Hold it. You guys see that ship?
The Church of Avia grows bolder by the day. I cannot sit idly by and allow such deeds to go unpunished.
Utopia? Wait, you just said Astalucia, but that's the same place we're headed.
Ah, truly? Our goals eclipse one another. His name is Id, one of Avia's top 3. Said to be the Skydom's strongest. Why are you here?
This has nothing to do with you.
Wow, I can't imagine captaining a crew at your age. I'm not exactly a slouch myself.
Make it worth my while, Skyfarers.
Captain! I'll clear a path. Stay close. Upheld by fangs of gleaming ice! Seal their fate.
Feel the action music.
Let our blades do the talking. Ready.
One stroke. Dream. Give in.
Go time. No eye contracting.
They can run, but they can't fly from the Grand Cipher. Not while I'm helmsman.
We promised to meet up with Fix-It Dude.
You think you can save Lyria? What a fool.
Come, the stars await, and we mustn't keep them.
Lilith, enough is enough.
Can't wait for the game. Alright, our next bit of news is being reported that Perfect Dark has had a bumpy development and will release 1 year after Tomb Raider, says Insider. You don't know, Perfect Dark is being developed by one of Xbox Studios called The Initiative, who not that long ago requested Crystal Dynamics, the team who worked on Marvel Avengers and Tomb Raider, to help with the development of Perfect Dark. But apparently, it was announced that a new Tomb Raider is in development. But since Perfect Dark have hit a bumpy road, it will release 1 year after the new Tomb Raider. So we still don't know if this news is 100% true, but more than likely, once you see news for the next Tomb Raider game, you'll definitely see that Perfect Dark will come out by then. And that ties into our other news that happened. It would appear that if you have played Marvel Avengers, unfortunately, development, well, not really development, support for that game is ending in September this year. Crystal Dynamics put out a message saying that they are stopping support for Marvel Avengers. So I believe they said, I'm not 100% sure which one is right. I heard that the development is stopping in September, but they will have one final update in March. So, yeah. But it was said that they will stop support for Marvel Avengers, and they could focus more on helping the initiative with the Perfect Dark game. And it is very unfortunate the amount of hours that people put into Marvel Avengers, me included. And the game was fun for what it was, but the thing is, like, Crystal Dynamics they were not the developers for this game. Like, if I was able to, I would have picked a whole different developer. Like, Crystal Dynamics were not the ones to make a game as a service game. And with this news, I basically draw to a theory about Marvel Avengers. And when it came to the Black Panther DLC, I told a friend this. I believe that Black Panther was supposed to get like an expansion DLC. And here's why. Like, because you don't know, Black Panther was supposed to get announced. I believe it was supposed to get announced and released before Kate Bishop. But when Chadwick Boseman passed away, Crystal Dynamics saw it would be the best interest, their best image, if they delayed it. Delay his reveal. But ever since the Black Panther, we have no DLC whatsoever. Like, they have not even been focusing on the main story that's going on in Marvel Avengers. Like, you had Kate Bishop and Hawkeye, their story missions actually tied together. But when it came to Black Panther, he got a whole expansion that introduced Wakanda as a hub area. But ever since then, after that, we haven't gotten no type of story thing for any other new characters. Not for Spider-Man, not for Lady Thor, and not for the Winter Soldier. And it's like, I don't know, me personally, I don't know what happened during development and stuff, But this, like, I don't know. Like, you have a whole Marvel IP to work with. Like, you have Marvel characters that you could have used. So I'm just so confused what went wrong. I don't know what went wrong in this development. But yeah, it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. It was fun while it lasted. So when Marvel Avengers support ends, I believe it will be removed from storefronts, so nobody will be able to buy it. Yeah. Sad to see. Unfortunately, sad to see. Alright. Now we got some other news to talk about. One of the news we have is from PlayStation Blog, who talk about the upcoming PlayStation VR games that will come from February 22nd and going forward. They will have an amount of 30 plus PlayStation VR games. And the list of games that we have are After the Fall, Alter Breaker, Before Your Eyes, City VR, Cosmos High, Creed Rise to Glory, The Dark Pictures Switchback, Demo, Discordia Chronos Alternate, Fantavision 22X, Gran Turismo 7, which is a free update for anybody who bought Gran Turismo 7, Horizon Call of the Mountain, Job Simulator, Jurassic World Aftermath, Kayak VR Mirage, Kazuna AI, the Last Clockwinder, the Light Brigade, Moss 1 and 2 Remastered, NFL Pro Era, No Man's Sky, Pavlov VR, Pistol Whip, Puzzling Places, Res Evil Village, Res Infinite, Song in the Smoke, Star Wars Tales of the Galaxy's Edge, Zenith Riders, Tale of Onogoro, Tentacooler, Tetris Effect, Thumper, The Walking Dead Saints and Sinner, Chapter 2, Retribution, Vacation Simulator, What the Bat, Zenith The Last City, which is also a free upgrade. So a lot of good titles that are going to be coming to the PlayStation VR 2. I am going to get the VR 2 when it releases next month. So I'm gonna pre-order it at some point, but I will have the VR. And there was a little bit more info that came out for the Gran Turismo VR. It says, "We are thrilled that Gran Turismo 7 will be on PlayStation VR 2 launch title. Through a free upgrade for those who have already purchased Gran Turismo 7, players will experience all cars and tracks in VR like never before. GT7 VR takes full advantage of the PlayStation VR 2 next-gen features, with eye tracking and foveated rendering. Players will experience stunning visual fidelity while racing in any of the 450 plus cars. While two-player split-screen races are not supported in VR, all other races, including online races, will be available. From the Nürburgring and Tuzkaba, tracks can be experienced exactly as they are in real life." Sorry I butchered those names. But yeah, for all those racing heads that have been wanting to play Gran Turismo 7 VR, you're good. They're going to get the full experience. And on to our next bit of news. We have a leak image from Suicide Squad kills the Justice League, and it kind of sent the internet a little bit in a tizzy because it shows the game as a games as a service. From what I could tell, it shows the marketplace, and what I heard was the marketplace was only to be cosmetic, and the currency at the top is basically the the XP for you to use in the game. And some people were upset to find out that Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League is a game as a service game, because there have been some cases. There have been cases that game as a service, some game as a service games did not work out very well for them in the end. For examples, we got Anthem, and now we got Marvel Avengers. But there are some games that actually did pull off the games as a service pretty well. You got Destiny, you got Fortnite, and you got Apex Legends. So, time will tell how this game turns out, if it's true that it is a games as a service. Me personally, I'm not really bothered by it because I do play like Destiny and those type of games. But also for me personally, I wasn't gonna get the game anyway because I was never a fan of the Suicide Squad team in general. So the game could be all cool and whatnot, but I just don't like the Suicide Squad characters. Like, I don't know. I've never been a fan of Harley Quinn, Deadshot, Captain Boomerang, and King Shark. I know of those characters, but I've never been a fan of them that I want to play as them. So, for those who are excited for the game, I'm happy for you, but this game, unfortunately, is going to be a skip for me. Alright. Now for our last bit of news for the night. A lot of stuff have been going on in the tech industry. A bunch of layoffs from different companies. And one of the companies that got hit hard was Microsoft, laying off 10,000 employees. Some of them from through the company and some even from their gaming division. And one of the reports have said a Halo insider says 343 has lost around 1/3 of its workforce. Going forward, the studio will hold active development on the future narrative campaigns and will transform into the franchise coordinators. And a lot of people was hoping that Halo Infinite would come out with a story DLC, but unfortunately that's not the case because when this news came out, I was seeing a bunch of random numbers. I was heard that 343, they are the developers who makes the Halo games. They got hit with like 130 employees. Some people said 30, some people said 60. I don't know the true answer, but the devs who got laid off did say that 343 was hit hard. Like, and it's not just them. Some people from Bethesda also got laid off. Apparently, it was said that the people that got laid off from Bethesda was some of the team members that was working on Starfield. So that's a whole different discussion at a later point. That's a whole different discussion once we know more about Starfield or the next look of it. But yeah, it's never good to lose your job, especially how the world is, especially what's going on in the world right now. I am hoping the people who did got laid off will be able to find new source. Will find a new job. I actually have seen studios are posting links for the people who got laid off to like apply for their studio and stuff, telling them we do have some openings. I saw some people from Bungie, Naughty Dog, I believe Nintendo also did it. Also, I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, it's unfortunate for these people. And the crazy thing is, the developers who got laid off, they started speaking out against their upper management at their company. They didn't flat out say if it was they were talking about higher management from 343 Studios or Microsoft in general. But it's all very surprising. Like, basically, usually when it comes to stuff like this, an employee is unable to speak what went on in the studio, and they do have to sign that agreement. But I guess in this case, either they didn't do it this time, or the employees who got fired just didn't care. And it's not all bad. For all we know, the people who got let go are the ones who put Halo Infinite in this state. But in that regard, I still say, if all this stuff that was going on behind the scenes, management should definitely, the higher management should have gotten fired. Because the people who got fired, some of their employees were speaking very highly of the other employees. There was this one person who used to work at 343 for the Halo Infinite multiplayer, but he left the company and went to Respawn. So it's just very concerning about this situation, like what's going on at the Microsoft. Is it the actual employees are the problem, or upper management and some people words that say they're trying to chase the latest trend that's going on. So unfortunately, Halo Infinite have suffered from that. And what else was it? It said a former Halo dev criticized incompetent leadership at Microsoft. Comments from the former multiplayer designer on Halo Infinite and other X343 Industries employees. Yeah, so a lot of them were speaking out against upper management. And it was funny enough, a couple of days later, after all this stuff coming out, reports, there was a rumor that like somebody knew, like a new studio was going to like take over for Halo, but that's no longer the case, because the studio head, Pete Hines, has said this. This comes from Pete Hines. 343 Industries will continue to develop Halo now and into the future, including new Halo stories and multiplayer, and more of what makes Halo great. So, I did saw some people were happy that they came out and spoke about this and stuff, and some people are upset that 343 is going to continue to do in Halo, and basically those fans are like, how many times we're going to give you a chance when it comes to making a proper Halo game. Because people argue that Halo 4 story was good, but the multiplayer was trash. And when Halo 5 Guardians came out, they said the story was trash, but the multiplayer was good. For a Halo Infinite case, it seems like they hit the story and the multiplayer in a good spot. But the problem is, as of right now, people complaining about the multiplayer comment for content. Oh Jesus, content for Halo Infinite that is being very slow for new content to come out for the game. So some people is actually not playing anymore. Well, when it comes to PC, I don't know how many people on the Xbox is still playing, but yeah, this is very unfortunate because when you think of Xbox, you think of Halo. It's no different from Nintendo with Mario and PlayStation with God of War, and it's a kind of sad to see Halo Infinite is in this type of case that doesn't look like, well, time will tell if it would get better in the future, but as of right now, this is not a good look for Microsoft. And well, tomorrow is supposed to be their director's event, so hopefully all this bad press that Halo gotten will be handled properly. Well, not really handled properly. More like what's the word I'm looking for? Better be in a better situation than they were now. Because some people say like at this point you can't get any worse than you are right now. So yeah, time will tell what happens with Halo Infinite. Alright, and that's the video. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I am very tired right now, so I'm gonna hit the hay. So this is Storm, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Have a good night, and peace out.